Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers. Come in, come in, come in. This is a super, super, super special broadcast today. I am so excited because I have Liz Austin from eBay with me. So as you're coming in and settling, just let me know that you can hear us. Just comment below. You can let me know how your weather is today if you want, even if you haven't been outside, if you've poked your head out, if you've got rain, if you've got sun. Let us know because we like to know. Here in New York, a little chilly. I was out real early dropping my mail and got back quickly while social distancing. But I want to introduce Liz. She is part of the eBay community team. And to let you know what she does for eBay and then what we're going to do, because Liz is a social media expert and she is going to give us some super tips that are specifically for eBay sellers because she's just super, super, super good at that. So Liz, take it away. Just introduce yourself. Let us know what you do with the team, what areas that you focus on.
Sure. Hi. Is this echoing? No? Can you hear me okay? Thumbs up?
Yes, I hear you great.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me and really appreciate the time and coming to you all either in your businesses or in your homes. As you can see, I'm working in my office right now and I have my 4-year-old in the bed next to me. So, yeah, so face cutting on the screen. That's who you'll see. That's Harriet is her name,
Okay.
and it's her sleep time. So I just forewarn you if you see any faces, that's why. But that's what we're doing at eBay. Is we've all moved to work from home as everyone else, and we're running business as usual. We're actually doing so much. It's 24/7 at the moment, and we've really needed to adapt what we're doing to with our seller community and give you the updates and information you need right now so that you don't feel like you're alone in this and that we're in this together for the long haul. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're staying healthy. Yeah. So my role at eBay, role at eBay is I look after seller community engagement.
And what is that, Liz?
So I work with
what is seller engagement?
Sure. So it's our way of having a conversation with sellers. So instead of expecting you to always get your information through emails or through updates that we give, we want to make sure that we are where you are, whatever your channel is. So whether that's Facebook, whether that's on Instagram, whether that's on YouTube or community, or even at events like eBay Upfront, we were doing a lot. Our plan was to go out and meet you where you are. This year, obviously, COVID has put a stop to that. But my team's role is to have a conversation with you, make sure that you are that you understand the products that we launch and the updates that we give you in a way that is contextualized so that you can then apply it to your unique business, because we know that every seller's business is unique. So we want to help you understand, why you might like a certain product, why you might like a certain program, who it's suitable for, and what time of the year it might be, a really good product for you to try and use as well. So we do that, and we do a lot of that through storytelling. So we and storytelling is really the art of storytelling is something that I've been I guess working on for my whole career. I started working at Cirque du Soleil, which is just like at the forefront of storytelling.
Did you really? You were with Cirque du Soleil. Now, was that here in the US or was that overseas?
It was in Australia, and I run.
Is that the accent, Liz? I hear a little accent. So
it is
from Australia.
It's an Australian accent, and I've only been in the US for coming up to 4 years now, so not that long. So my accent's still thick, but I worked at Cirque du Soleil, and
I love this. So from circus to eBay.
It was actually a circus to comedy, art to fashion, and now to eBay. And it's all been about storytelling. It's all been about building communities, and it's all been about talking to people in a way that helps you understand, helps bring you along on the journey, and helps everyone have a really strong connection, so that what we say resonates with you, and that it applies to you and your unique situation.
Now, let's explain what storytelling is, because I think eBay sellers, again, when we look at social media, when we look at communicating with our shoppers, we think Facebook, we think Twitter, we think Pinterest. I don't think most sellers are familiar with the concept of storytelling, and that's one reason why I wanted to have you on, because you're so strong on it. And explain what that is and how that would work for an eBay seller rather than a Cirque du Soleil, or rather than a brand like eBay. Me as an eBay seller, why do I care about storytelling on social media?
Because it is your point of differentiation. So, the world is very competitive out there, where many different marketplaces, lots of different ways for consumers to purchase things. Storytelling is your way to cut through all of that and provide real uniqueness to a potential buyer, so that they feel like you, your brand, what you're trying to sell, and why they might feel like they have a connection with what you're offering them. And people feel better about it rather than a straight transaction. So an example.
So it's about communicating who we are, Liz, who we are as sellers in our business. Is that the idea behind? Because, you think about storytelling, like, especially you've got your daughter. It's, I have my book and I'm reading, a fairy tale or a fable or a story, to my child, which is, so I have a story as a seller, even if I'm a variety seller. And that's what I wanted to address, because I think a lot of us are variety sellers. So, Liz, if I'm selling a lot of different things, like I sell needlepoint and I sell clothing and I might sell puzzles right now because they're so popular, how can I story tell when I'm a variety seller?
So the best thing about eBay is that we are the human form of commerce, and people come to eBay because they know that there are people behind the transaction. We're not the big brick retailers. The best thing about eBay is that there are small businesses driving these transactions and sourcing these really incredible finds and putting them on eBay. And that's what buyers want to know about. They want to know about the uniqueness that you are selling. Where did you source that item from? Like, wow, what a steal. If you've got an incredible story on this truly unique item, or needlepoint, like, how long did it take you to make that? And what was your inspiration behind making it? Like, why make that? What is the process of making that? What is that journey? Like, we all want to get into the minds of creatives and understand the process of making something, because we all can't do it ourselves. And when we buy something and we have the backstory, like a good piece of art, or something that's been, an heirloom piece that, has been in a family for years and years and years, and now you want to offer that to someone else because you want to share the love and you want to give it to a home that will also value it. Those types of backstories really inspire people to make that transaction, and they feel like they have they're invested in that item that you are trying to sell them. So I give an example of an Austin seller that we have, that we onboarded with Retail Revival just recently, and they're a ceramic pottery makers, artisans, and they're and the pieces are hours to make, and each one is one-off, truly unique. One might have a yellow bottom, a blue handle, a certain marking on the mug. And so they show pictures in their Instagram feed or on their Facebook, but they use their stories to really show the process behind it. Like, how do you make that item? What is that life that you live, and where do you fit making into your life? And that's the stuff that really gets people, because it's just different, and it makes them feel like they have that, inside view into what is going on behind the scenes, so that they can feel like they're a part of it, and that they've bought something that makes them feel really good, because the sellers told them where their money's going to go. Like, hey, buyer, my money is going because, I'm at home with my kids and I'm passionate about pottery, and selling on eBay allows me to stay at home with my kids, but also pursue a passion. or hey, I'm retired, the money that I make allows me to feed my pension. Like those types of stories make buyers feel good about that transaction. And you can't get that.
Point, because a lot of times, Liz, as sellers, we may not realize the uniqueness of our story. You know this from going to upfronts and meeting so many sellers. Anytime sellers, they're like, oh, well, other people do this, maybe because they know other sellers. But to the world, no, they don't know about your passion of going to estate sales, how you love, finding that perfect doll or puzzle or game. That yes, you live in Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, Nebraska, Texas, Arizona, and why you love that state because your family's there and you love being connected to your family, or you love it because you have absolutely the most gorgeous garden, and you love eBay selling because it allows you time for gardening, or you're at home with your children or home with your grandchildren. Again, it's your life, so you may not realize the uniqueness because your friends may have a similar life to you. But to our buyers, they don't know. And they think Minnesota is fascinating, or Arkansas, or California, or New York, or Illinois, or Indiana. They love to see pictures of your garden. They love to see pictures of your pets. And I was even thinking too, Liz, as part of storytelling, the behind the scenes, because often sellers forget about that. Believe it or not, they love seeing your shipping area, like where you ship, packaging, how you put that little note card in, or the thank you, or putting the eBay tape on the package. Buyers love to see the process, the behind the scenes, where you store the items to keep them nice and clean for them, all of that, which again, you might totally take for granted, like, well, who cares about my shipping area? But to somebody who is buying from you, they love seeing it because it shows your care. It shows who you are as a seller. And they love seeing, I know some, not me, because I'm not a bow tire, but some people, they tie beautiful bows, and just lovely things. So it's that behind the scenes, like you sharing about your daughter. So now I know something about you, and you're a mom, and I know the age of your daughter, and that you're somebody where your family cares for you, is because buyers are looking to relate to us. And you made such a good point, because eBay is a human marketplace. We're allowed to communicate with our buyers. We're encouraged to answer questions. We're encouraged to put little personal notes in, and on social media, because that's what we were talking about, to post and let people know who you are, again, in a professional way. You are portraying yourself as a business person. But again, if you do sell craft kits, are you a crafter? Do you want to show some of the crafts that you do? I think it's a great point.
Absolutely. And I think that's all about your personal, your personal brand.
No,
and then another tip, if you're a fashion seller, when I was working for the Fashion Festival in Australia, what I knew that a big majority of our audience were completely intimidated by fashion. They didn't know how to put outfits together. They didn't know how to wear their jewelry. They didn't know how to do their hair and makeup. So if you're a fashion seller on social media, put an outfit together with the item that you're selling. Show your customer how this shirt might work with a blue pair of pants or a skirt, or how it can go from day to night. Like, just take the horse to water. And then that way they're more likely to convert, because they understand how that item might fit within their life visually. It's hard to see that just with a static image. But if you put these pieces in a real life situation, then the customers can visualize, hey, that item as well.
I think that's a great idea. One thing I was hearing about with COVID is, in some offices, I mean, eBay's casual. You could, just wear like a t-shirt or a casual shirt with a collar. But for businesses where men or ladies are needing to dress more suit, like lawyer, accountant kind of thing, where from the waist up now, they're dressing very formal, or the shirt with the tie, or the beautiful woman's suit. But from the waist down, it's yoga pants, Pilates pants, shorts, leggings. And I thought that could be a fun post for fashion, is if you have a lot of leisure wear, is to do a fun thing on that. Because again, it's giving people ideas. Again, you may think, hey, this is like a nothing, like how to tie a scarf, or how to pair this shirt with a pair of shorts. But for somebody else, like you said, a lot of people feel fashion challenged, and they're not sure how to pull something together. So that's a great, and again, goes to storytelling, goes to branding. You're their friend, you're helping them. It's not just buy my stuff, which oftentimes I see sellers do, thinking that it's social media, which is just product, 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 which would be like eBay saying list, 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 which yes, we want to, but it's things like sellers, don't forget about shipping and don't forget about this. And we have this event coming up. It's an entire, you need to think about the entire life of the buyer and things that are going to interest them on social media, not just buy my stuff, buy my stuff. So I love style guides, style tips. And I know too, I was thinking about this, Liz, because you worked with the Fashion Council, is you don't need to always post your idea. Like if you're giving somebody a styling tip, you can get it from a blog. Like you could get it from the Fashion Council. You could get it from Women's Wear Daily. You could get it from Vogue or whatever it is. You can go around on Facebook or Instagram and look and share that information to your account.
Or your followers also. So themselves in their latest purchase. So we call that UGC, user generated content. And we say, hey, you know, sellers, as we're going, I mean, hey, buyers, or hey, my people that follow me, my audience, you know, as we're going into spring, what are some outfits that, you know, you're excited to wear? Put them on and show us, even if it's at home in your wardrobe, because none of us can get out right now. We want to see those outfits that you're excited to get out there and wear. Sharon from Government Relations this morning, she came glam to this meeting with a great shirt on, a beautiful makeup and hair and everything. And she said, and I've got high heels on. And she said, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of leisure wear. I can't do it another week. I really need to just put my normal clothes on. And that's what's going to happen. People are going to start to get sick of wearing tracksuits and get back to their normal gear. And I think that's the important part, is that always try and put your consumer's shoes. So yes, people are at home right now. Yes, people are stuck. Like what we're seeing trending on eBay is such an interesting view of the world. So we're seeing puzzles, like giant big puzzles, selling really well on eBay at the moment. We're selling massive Lego sets. We're selling hair dye, of all things, because people know that they have to get on Zoom and they can't have their grey hairs coming through. So they do it like hair clippers. My girls' hairs are like down to their toes. So my husband keeps threatening to go and get hair clippers. And I'm not touching the hair. We're all going to walk out of this long hair. I don't care. But just put yourself in the buyer's shoes. You know, think of that moment that they're in right now. And as Kathy said, like, solve a problem for them. Help, yes. help.
We have a great question from Dale we're going to answer, and then we're going to close out. So Dale said, storytelling. She says storytelling is a tough sell in the U.S. People under 50 are not interested. They just surf, click, and buy. Do you find that true in Australia, or do you find that true in the U.S.? I think it depends on how you tell the story. Dale is a jewelry seller, Liz. So if you want to bring that in, but she's saying that she finds people are they just like, I just want to buy and get off. So I'm not interested in your story. So what would you say to that?
Yeah, who is your audience, Dale? So really get clued into who your audience is, and then truly understand what they want to hear from you. So is your audience under 50? Then yes, you might need to think of other ways. Look at how other brands are doing it and see what's resonating with other brands, who's doing it really well, and think about how you can use the same learnings and apply them to your own business. But inspiration happens on social media. It's like some crazy figure, like 70% of pre-purchase decisions and inspiration are made on social media. So it's like the top of funnel. You go and get them on social media where they're browsing, and they're browsing more than ever right now because everyone's at home going crazy. So get them there, inspire them, tell your story there, whether it's like, as we're saying, how you wear your pieces, how they wear their pieces at home on a Friday night. Like maybe you do a Zoom dinner with friends, like put on a beautiful piece of jewelry and feel good about it. So post some content that makes you feel like you understand the moment in time that those people are going through, and use that as inspiration, and then have them transact on eBay, because that's an easy and safe place for them to transact. But that's the relationship of social media to eBay. Inspire them on social media, give them a reason to purchase from you, a unique reason, and then have them transact on eBay.
I love the idea of what are you wearing right now? Because back to clothing, but certainly you do this with anything like puzzles. What puzzle, if you're a puzzle seller, what if you have any left? What puzzle are you working on right now? Because everybody's doing puzzles right now, like you said. Or if you're a fitness seller, because home fitness is selling like crazy right now too. Here in New York, we usually go to gyms. And yes, we have a certain amount of fitness equipment in our homes, but honestly, it's about space. So it's just go to the gym. It's also social interaction. So you have a lot of people they're working out at home now. So you could say, what are you doing? What's your favorite workout right now? And then if you sell DVDs, because people do still buy them, even though there's a lot of streaming, or if you have hand weights or yoga bands, I'm trying to think of all the things, all the bands and the leggings and the shirts, ask, what are you doing? Let them post, because you'll learn. It's like, oh, wow, everybody's doing Pilates. I should take a look at some more Pilates stuff. So you can get sourcing ideas too, which I love about that. But you get such great inspiration seeing, like you said, what are my people interested in? It's not what I'm interested in. What are they? And that can be tough because this is so gorgeous. This is so fabulous. But nobody cares. Like, nobody likes it. But
And you'll hear,
right? You've done that. Like, oh, this is the best social media post. Like, this is gonna crush it. And everybody's like, it's a big snooze. And then you think the thing that you think is a nothing post, like, well, what are you doing for workouts? Explodes. It absolutely blows up.
so true.
I did a post the other day on my personal page, right?
No, you go.
No, I was going to say, I did a post the other day on my personal page. What are you binge watching right now? Which, if you're selling media, is a great post because, man, you will get it. And then you get an idea of what are people interested in, especially if you've got unlisted inventory. Then you could go, boy, do I have any of this? Can I get any of this listed?
And I would say also right now, the power of community is just phenomenal. Yeah. And our community, society as a whole want to support small businesses. So the more that you can tell your small business story and because there are a lot of people out there that want to help small businesses and they don't know how. If you can go to you and say, hey, I'm a small business, I'm still up and running, but your support will go a long way if you buy from me, then you're giving these consumers a way to help. Everyone wants to know how to help. They're not really sure how to help. So if you can tell them how to help and say, hey, this transaction, or if you purchase this from me and I'm a small business, you are truly helping me because, I'm up and running and I want to stay up and running through COVID. So I really appreciate, your efforts and looking at my items. So I think tell that small business story as well.
I love that. And I think that's a great way to close. And again, as eBay sellers, we may forget that because we're so intent on selling is people love to know they're supporting small business. It's good to let people know that and to thank them. That's another great social media post and storytelling post is to go, thank you. Thank you, everybody that's shopping with me and other eBay sellers right now. It's great to extend it to the community. We really appreciate it. You are supporting us, taking care of our families. If you want to talk about your neighborhood, which is, wherever you are and things that you're able to support because of your prosperity as an eBay seller, your lifestyle, that you're a stay-at-home mom or you have elder care, whatever. But people love to hear the words, thank you. And they love to know that they are supporting small business. Like you said, everybody's very intent right now on that because they know that small business is really taking a hit with COVID. So they love to know if they purchase with you, again, in Montana, Arkansas, Kansas, Connecticut. Also, because some of our overseas people listen to this broadcast and on podcast in the UK, in Germany, and France. They love to know they are supporting you working hard as a small business. And that's a great story to tell and one that sometimes we forget. So thank you, Liz, so much thank you for everything you do with community. Liz is, if you go to the eBay for Business Facebook page, you will see her. She is in there with videos, interviewing staff, interviewing sellers. She's a great heart and mind behind the content on the eBay for Business page, which is great content for us sellers. So Liz, thank you so much for what you do and your team does for the eBay seller community. We certainly appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. It's the most meaningful work ever. And I thank you to everyone for selling on eBay and working so hard. I take my hat off to you. And hopefully we look forward to seeing you on the road later in the year for eBay upfronts, where we come out to your communities and meet you there.
Great. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And remember, you have a story, and enjoy telling it on social media. It helps you to stand out. It helps you to attract shoppers. They get to know who you are. People love to buy from people, and they love to buy from small businesses. So tell your story. It does matter. Attract your shoppers, your kind of shoppers. Also, you have a lot more fun doing it that way. And let social media work for you to help to attract your shoppers, and then bring them to eBay, like Liz said, so they can shop with you. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. I'm Kathy, and this is Liz, and we love to be selling. Bye-bye.